This is Dr. Emma Hitt-Nichols, and this is the information on the latest U.S. FDA approvals for the week of January 22nd through the 26th, 2024. First up this week, the FDA is requiring a boxed warning on all existing chimeric antigen receptor CAR T-cell therapies following a review of reports that the therapies can increase the risk for some secondary cancers. The letters sent to the manufacturers of all 6 currently available CAR T-cell therapies were dated January 19th, 2024. The treatments impacted include, and I'm just going to say the brand names here, include Carvykti, Kymriah, Abecma, Breyanzi, Yescarta, and Tecartus. The required warning label comes less than 2 months after the FDA announced it was further investigating the safety of CAR T-cell agents following reports of T-cell malignancies, including CAR-positive lymphoma, in patients who received treatment with BCMA or CD19-directed autologous CAR T-cell therapies. The agency is allowing the therapies to stay on the market, which of course is a sign that the benefits outweigh the risks. The companies have 30 days to submit proposed changes to the label or file a rebuttal in the case that they do not agree with the FDA. Also last week, the FDA has approved Dupilumab, Dupixent, for treating eosinophilic esophagitis, EoE, in children aged 1 to 11 years of age. This follows its 2022 approval for the treatment of patients aged 12 years and older. Dupilumab, a human monoclonal IgG4 antibody that inhibits interleukin-4 and interleukin-13 signaling, is also approved for atopic dermatitis, asthma, chronic rhinosinusitis with nasal polyposis, and prurigo nodularis. EoE is caused by the accumulation of eosinophils in the esophagus and is associated with symptoms including heartburn, difficulty swallowing, and failure to thrive. Approximately 21,000 children under the 12 years of age are being treated for EoE, with about 9,000 of those not responding to existing therapies. The latest approval was based on findings from the phase 3 EoE KIDS trial, in which Dupilumab at a higher dose improved symptoms in 66% of patients. This is the first FDA-approved treatment for EoE in this age group. The approval was granted to the manufacturers of Dupilumab, Regeneron, and Sanofi. Also last week, the FDA has granted clearance to OsteoBoost. That's a wearable belt device, and this is the first non-drug prescription medical device for treating osteopenia, which of course is a precursor to osteoporosis. The device, developed by Bone Health Technologies, operates by delivering targeted low-intensity vibrations to the lumbar spine and hip, areas most commonly affected by osteoporotic fractures. This technology, derived from NASA's whole-body vibration therapy used to prevent bone loss in astronauts, has shown promise in stimulating bone growth and maintaining bone health. Clinical trials have demonstrated the efficacy of OsteoBoost with significant preservation of vertebral bone strength and bone mineral density in active users compared to a sham group. OsteoBoost was reviewed through the FDA's de novo classification process and received breakthrough device designation. The OsteoBoost clearance creates a new class of therapeutics for low bone density outside of pharmacologic intervention. And now a word from the supporter of this podcast, Nascent Medical. Attention all businesses in need of exceptional medical writing support. Nascent Medical is the solution. We are a team of skilled MD and PhD level medical writers who specialize in fast turnaround needs assessments, manuscripts, slide decks, ad board summaries, and much, much more. Don't settle for anything less than excellence when it comes to your medical writing assistance. Visit nascentmc as in medicalcommunications.com. That's nascentmc.com. We're here so that you never have to be without excellent medical writing help. Also last week, the FDA has approved an investigational new drug application for BSI-082. This is a novel anti-SERP alpha, and SERP stands for signal regulatory protein. It's a monoclonal antibody to SERP. BSI-082 has a strong binding activity to human SERP variants, covering over 90% of human populations. This antibody specifically targets SERP alpha and SERP beta, blocking the interaction with CD47, thereby reactivating the phagocytic activity of tumor-associated macrophages and dendritic cells that target tumor cells. According to the manufacturer of BSI-082, Bioscion USA, Inc., this mechanism of action avoids the broad toxicity commonly associated with CD4 targeting therapies. BSI-082 has demonstrated in vivo anti-tumor efficacy in multiple animal models, especially when combined with monoclonal antibodies targeting tumor-associated antigens. Also last week, the FDA has approved an investigational new drug application to evaluate VCA-894A for the treatment of Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, axonal type 2S, so that's CMT2S. And this is caused by cryptic splice site variants within the IGH-MBP2 gene. The agent VCA-894A is a novel antisense oligonucleotide, and according to the manufacturer, Vanda Pharmaceuticals, Inc., may have broad applicability in addressing a number of disorders. The estimated overall prevalence of CMT is 1 in 2,500, with varying clinical features dependent on the various genetic variants of CMT. The prevalence of CMT2S is estimated to be less than 1 in 1 million worldwide. CMT2S, for which there is no available treatment, is characterized by slowly progressive distal muscle weakness and atrophy, affecting the upper and lower limbs in a child's first decade of life, leaving patients with decreased reflexes and sensory impairment. And finally, here are some, although not all, items from last week's FDA Roundup published on Friday, 26th of January. The FDA stated that there will be a new website listing upcoming foods program regulation the FDA plans to publish, along with an updated list of guidance topics for the food program, both expected by the end of 2024. There's a revised draft guidance for conducting remote regulatory assessments reflecting comments and legal changes since July 2022, with feedback open until March 26. There's also draft guidance for good manufacturing practice in veterinary medicinal products developed by the International Cooperation on Harmonization, inviting public comments for 60 days. Also in the roundup, there have been organizational changes within the Center for Devices and Radiological Health, elevating the Office of Strategic Partnerships and Technology Innovation to a super office to enhance future public health response. There's also the FDA launching an educational video series on tech-enabled food traceability to enhance food safety as part of the new era of smarter food safety blueprint. And finally, the FDA's CDER and CBER accepted a new artificial intelligence and digital health technology-based project into the iStand pilot program, focusing on innovative drug development tools. For the full roundup, do visit the link in the show notes for all the information. And finally, this week, I'd like to just mention my free course on ChatGPT-4 for medical writers and editors. You might find it useful. It's 20 minutes long and it's free and just something you can just have to help you in your work. And even if you're not a medical writer, it will still help you in understanding some of the latest information about ChatGPT-4, some of the ethics, and when you can and cannot use it. So go to learnamasstyle.com, learnamasstyle.com to access that free course. All right, that's it for this week. I'm Dr. Emma Hitt-Nichols. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you will join me every Monday as I cover the latest information from the FDA on some of their new approvals. Thanks so much.